It's your boy Joe.
It's your boy Greg. We the co-pilots from coast to coast. We do the most. So what's your flight? Whatever it is, we got you covered.
Yeah, man. So, how you feeling today, Greg?
Man, it's getting better. It's getting better. I'm recovering and whatnot, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm getting better. It's all good. It's all
Yeah,
good,
man.
man.
It's been a rough 24 hours for your boy too, man. Just still a lot to process, man. And I mean, I guess ain't no better way to start the show with AFC NFC playoff recap, wild card weekend. And I mean, if you want to go ahead and start home, man, we can start with the Jaguars game, man. Unfortunately, we fell short 24-27 to the Bills, man. And it was one of those games where it just was like, it was there for the taking, man. But in the end, Josh Allen did his thing, man, and let the game winning drive seal the deal. And kind of hard, but hey, it is what it is. But before I let you go off and let you go on your tangent, man, it was an interesting stat that was said. A lot of teams that did what Liam Cohen did, going for it on fourth down in the third. I mean, early on in the game, it all affected them late in the game. So that was just an interesting stat that all that kind of came back, and I was like, look for hindsight. Hey, we take those 3 points, man. Maybe we in a different ball game, though. But go
Oh,
ahead, Greg.
exactly, man. All in all, I don't think the loss was nothing to hang your head over. At the end of the day, one team come out, the one and the other team come out on the L side of the ball. But at the same time, when you look at what could have happened, like going back to the field goal, you have to take advantage of every opportunity. You're in a situation where it's win or go home. This is not the regular season where you have next week to get it right. When you fixing on things of that nature. You in a win or go home situation. So anytime you have a chance to take points, you have to take them, whether it's 3, 2, whatever the case may be. You have to take advantage of every opportunity. And looking at it in hindsight, you take advantage of those opportunities. Let's say we get one of those field goals, you looking at a different ball game towards the end of the game. You looking at a tie ball game, and we get the ball with 1 minute left, and pretty much we don't have to force the ball downfield. Worst case scenario, because due to the fact that Buffalo still had 3 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken, you punt the ball, they probably have 15 seconds left. You get what I'm saying? So I think that, man, we put ourselves in that type of situation, but nevertheless, like, I like how we played really on both sides of the ball. Josh Allen, he's gonna get off. You get what I'm saying? There's no way certain people you're not gonna be able to stop. The AFC went through this year after year with Tom Brady. They went through it with Peyton Manning. You went through it with Patrick Mahomes. You seeing it with Josh Allen. Like certain quarterbacks, you're not going to be able to stop. When they got ice inside their vein. And so, my main thing going into the game, I was like, man, all strength was stopping the run. Stop the run. Don't allow them to control the clock. And I think the defense did a good job at that. Stopping Davin Cook. We did not allow him to get off. I think he probably had like 40 something yards on the ground. So we did a good job at that. But when it came to the passing game, we banged up. Let's be honest. We got a lot of players in there that's second string players that's in there in starting situations. And being honest, I don't think they did a bad job, but sooner or later it was bound to catch up with us. So, like I say, man, going back to what I was saying at the end of the day, the loss was nothing for us to hang our head over, man. I like how we played, man. Shout out to the fans, man, because leaving that game, I don't think it was one fan that left out, man, with a sour taste in their mouth that had anything bad to say about their team. You get what I'm saying? Everybody walked up with their heads held high. It was, we lost, so it wasn't as loud as it normally would be. But, at the end of the day, when we politic amongst each other, everybody had something good to say about the team.
Yeah, man, it was a good atmosphere at the game on yesterday, man. Good positive vibes, and also good positive vibes for the Bills fans because I've had my negative experience with Bills fans, but being in the area I was at a part of the game, the Bills fans, we was talking trash, but it was all respectful, it was all love. It wasn't nothing like I was back in 2018, I would say. But getting back to the game, man, you know, I think when you just look at it, when you look also too more deep into within the game, something that we struggled with all season was our pass defense. We didn't really have a good pass defense. We had a good run defense, but in the past we was able to be handled. And Josh Allen exploited our pass defense. Holes in coverage, and weeks we was able to get by certain weeks with that, but. This good quarterback, man. You can't be exploited like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't leave those exploitations on your defense, I should say, you know what I'm saying, for a good quarterback, they're gonna take advantage of that every time. And they did. And I think, we was able to get away with the little small things, in the regular season. But I think playoff football, you just gotta play at an elite level. And I think on both ends, defensively and offensively, we had our chances as well there too at that last thing. Don't forget Lawrence throw the interception. But and even in the coaching as well, I think Liam Cohen could lean a little bit more on the run game. So collectively as all, I think in all segments we all fell short. But looking at Liam Cohen, man, being in his first rookie season as a head coach, you learn from this, and I think he gets better after this as well.
I hear a lot of people, they was talking all day. They feel as though that we should have relied more on the run in the second half due to how the first half went. But me, my take is from that is that I don't think it would have been much of a difference. You get what I'm saying? Because when you're in a situation, man, you down, man, it's in the fourth quarter, you pretty much put yourself in a situation where you're forced to throw the ball. I mean, let's be early in the year, early in the season, it was understandable or whatnot. But we looking at, when the game is on the line, you want your best player to have the ball in their hand. And let's be honest, the best player on the offensive side of the ball has been Trevor Lawrence. You get what I'm saying? So I agree with the play call, towards, down the stretch, because when it come down to it, man, I want the ball to be in the, I want the best player on my team to have the ball in their hand. And I think that was the right call to allow Trevor Lawrence to have the ball in his hand. I mean, we look at it, we was able to score on that last drive. Unfortunately, when Buffalo got the ball back with 4 minutes left, the defense wasn't able to stop Josh Allen. Then going back down, we had 1 minute left on the last drive. We had 1 minute left. With maybe one timeout if we had any. So you don't even have time to stop the clock. So you're in a we're in a situation where we're forced to throw the ball. So I can't, I disagree with people when people, was been saying all day that we should have ran the ball more. We should have ran the ball more. Sometimes, man, you have to take what you can get. Trevor Lawrence is the best player on the team, so you have to have the ball in his hand.
Yeah, man. I mean, hindsight is 2020, man. You're gonna, like I said, when I initially called the run game thing when I was watching it in real time, like, man, I think we need to run. Now you're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna say that now. They're just doing that as clickbait, whatever, to you know, to have something negative to say about the Jazz or whatnot today. But I think, in the grand scheme of things, I thought Liam Cohen game plan was working out good, man. I mean, when you just look at, we hung with the Buffalo Bills all the way into the end. So what he did work. I mean, we can say and we can make, hey, he should have leaned on the run game more. But at the end of the day, man, hey, it's you can't take it back. It's just he got. I mean, like I said, and again, man, being a young coach, you learn from these things. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You learn from it, and you grow from these things.
right.
So, so, hey, turn that down. So, but yeah, man, my bad. I lost train of thought, but yeah, you can learn from these things as a head coach. I mean, and hopefully, you can just get your bounce back, your resolve.
Right.
So, any of your final thoughts from the Jaguars game, man?
It's on the next year, man. I think like I said, we know our Achilles heels was our secondary. And I think going in next year, man, and I think that when you look at among the fans, man, the consensus, man, we pretty much want to see Travis Hunter, playing DB. And I think that it'll be a big difference to have a lockdown corner. To be able to have a team that's be able to stop the run, and then also to have a lockdown corner in your secondary, man, a payoff, man. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. And I mean, I think when you look at how the front office as well is how they structure some of these deals. You look at Greg Newsom pretty much is on the reels on a rental this year, so we don't have to resign him.
Right.
And there's a couple other guys. I think Martarik Brown's another guy that's a notable free agent as well. So, I mean, these are guys that we can let go, and maybe we look to upgrade in some of these spots, man, in the secondary, man. I think clearly after yesterday, that's a need that we do have to address.
Right. Man, you look at the like our team, man, for us, you look at like the cap situation, man. We in a good position. We don't have a first round draft pick, but I mean, who cares? Especially when you got a talent like Travis Hunter coming back next season. And
Right.
then not only that, man, Trevor Lawrence, man, his contract, he played up to his contract this season. You get what I'm saying? If you look at, maybe it was kind of, if that at first it was kind of shaky, in the first couple of games this season, but you look at throughout the whole stretch, man, Trevor Lawrence is earning his paycheck. You get what I'm saying? So what we was able to sign him for, which we knew that in the long run would turn out to be a discount for us, and that'll help our salary cap when we get to this stage right here. You get what I'm saying? Because Trevor Lawrence is finna get ready to enter his sixth season in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? He haven't even hit his ceiling yet. You
Right.
know, so like I say, man, we in good shape, man. We as far as when we look at the salary cap, man.
Absolutely, I agree, man. Right now, I mean, Trevor Lawrence got another year up on the Trevor Lawrence year. See if he can get it done. And I just like our front office because I do think that you know James Gladstone's going to shock us again, like he did last year during this time. During the draft, we seen what he did with Travis Hunter. I think during this free agency period, we're going to pick up a key piece. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of needs, man. I do think mainly on the defense what they work. Offensively, man, we're pretty set. We gotta get the O line, little protection issues. We have a lot of young talent. I think Parker Washington due for extension, get a big deal. Travis Etienne, that's another person that's out there. What we do with him. I think we need to work a deal to keep him. We let go Tank Bigsby earlier, so maybe we keep him around on maybe I say like a 3-year deal or something like that. Fully guaranteed first year or whatever. However, he's getting no running backs. I hate to say it, they we they're expendable. So you got Tootin, you got LaQuint Allen in the wing. So maybe you get that into your offense. I look at how the Rams have they've interchanged running backs throughout the course of the years. I mean, they started off with Todd Gurley. From Gurley, they transitioned to the boy Cam Akers. From Cam Akers, they transitioned to Kyron Williams. So they're always continue to rotate back. So I think Jaguars take that same approach.
Well, I mean, they didn't have no choice because they was dealing with injuries. The Rams. I mean, Todd Gurley, he did deal with injuries, and um he didn't come back or whatnot. I think he did. He went to the Falcons or whatnot.
Mhm.
Then Cam Akers the same thing, battling injuries or whatnot. So I mean, when we look at ETN, man, he's pretty durable. Outside his first season when he dealt with that injury, man, he's been durable. I don't really remember him missing too many games prior to that, prior
Yeah,
to
you're
his
right.
first
His
season.
first year, he has been a durable running back. I think I think what put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths was that Doug Peterson season, the fumbles and things like that. It was just a bad season, but he had a bounce back this year, man.
Oh
Hell of a
yes,
bounce back.
certainly.
You know, but I mean, I think like you say, man, this is gonna be sustained success. A lot of people keep going back and saying like, well, the Jags, man. Every time we have a winning season, we go back to being sorry. I mean, they compared it all the way back to the '99 season. They like the 99 season we won 14 games. In 2000 we won 7. We went 7-9. The 2005 season we went 12-4. The next year we went 8-8. I mean, they just was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I just think we have sustained success. This is the first time in a long time we can have some sustained success going into the offseason.
You know what's crazy though, and I was thinking about this today, right? Um, since Trevor Lawrence been in the league, man, we haven't had nothing but 2 seasons that we played under 500.
Damn.
You know what I'm
Interesting.
saying? Yeah, I mean, so you look at like, when you look at he had 3 seasons above 500, 2 playoff appearances, you know what I'm saying? 2 playoff seasons we went to the playoffs. And 2 seasons we played under 500. His first year and last season.
Mm.
The other one was 7-9, 7-9, and this one here was 13 wins.
13 wins. So 9-8, you mean? Because we have,
Yeah,
9
9
and
8.
8.
You're right. Right, 9 and 8.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when you look at it in the game scheme of things, and now I mean, now that you think about it, I mean, well, I mean, within Trevor Lawrence, his time frame as our starting quarterback, we've had 2 playoff appearances with him. So of all the quarterbacks we've drafted in the last, the Blake Borders of the world, all those guys, he had the most success in the sense. So I mean,
Yeah.
as much as we complain about Trevor Lawrence, man, he has been successful in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah. That's one of the things that made me like think like try to, be optimistic about it or whatnot. Our quarterback situation, you know what I'm saying? Although I take nothing bad I said about Trevor Lawrence, I don't take it back. When I said it, I meant it.
Mhm.
But like when you play good, I salute it. I acknowledge, yeah, you playing better. But one of the things I was looking at that time, I was like, dang, he's only 25 years old. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, he's only 25 years old in his 5th year. It's still room for improvement. And looking at what we saw this year, like towards the second half of the season, he took a big step forward. But this was the same thing that happened to Doug Peterson first season with the Jaguars. But we hoping that, man, he don't take a step back. That's the main thing. But like I say, man, I saw a lot of good. One of the things I saw, man, this season right here, right? That when I started seeing it, I was like, yeah, he's on a whole nother level now. His ability to be able to manipulate the pocket. You know what I'm saying? We see it with Josh Allen. We see it a lot with Bryce Young in college. We see it with Lamar Jackson. We see it with a lot. You know what I'm gonna say this. We even see it with Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? As we like to say that Tom Brady was immobile. Tom Brady knew how to manipulate the pocket. You get what I'm saying? We're starting to see that out of Trevor Lawrence this year. His ability to be able to maneuver and manipulate the pocket to be able to extend plays to be able to allow his receivers more time to get open. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And that plays a big factor, man, when you talking about, man, when you know what I'm saying, when it look like when pressure's on, when the opposing team send their blitz, you got an extra second. All it takes is an extra second or two, and you got a man downfield. That worked. We seen it a lot with Parker Washington this season.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, he did take it excel in that being using his legs a lot more and being smart with the ball in the red zone. I thought he cleaned that up a lot late in the season. But I mean, the sky's the limit for Trevor, man. If he could just continue to prove on Liam Coin, it has to be improvement though. We can't take any more steps back at this point, man. NFL windows close fast. We can look at the way Detroit Lions right now, where they was in the AFC Championship game last year, to now they ain't even make it to the playoffs. So not saying that they window closed, but it's just so much harder to get back to that level. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you have to take advantage of it while you have the talent, while you got the draft capital, while you got the cap space to close in on this, man. I mean, right now, 13 wins. I mean, that's gonna be hard to follow up next year, but I can still think the team can be competitive, and I mean, I still think we have Super Bowl aspirations. It's all right in front of us,
Right.
you know. So let's talk about the other AFC game that happened. The Patriots versus the Chargers, man. I mean, that game right there, bro, man, it was one of those things where it was just ugly, man. And I look at Justin Herbert, man. I was rooting for the darn Chargers, hoping that I thought that maybe, hardball led team. He's been around the playoffs. He know the intensity, things like that. Man, he played. Man, he did not play. Now I get it. He got a lot of injuries, man. But man, you let Ricky Drake May outshine you, man, and that's not good, man, for Justin Herbert, man. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, now Drake May. I mean, you're letting you getting outshine, bro. Like when you're gonna rise your game up, man, in the playoffs, man. And I think that's where I'm at with Justin Herbert, man. Like, even though with all the injuries and the things he have, man, there was an opportunity to put it on your back, just like Josh Allen did in Jacksonville, but he didn't deliver.
Right, right. Um, I put out a post right about that, a video about the Chargers. You had a few Chargers fans get offended, and you had some agree with me. Some like, yeah, they, and some of them got offended, man. I was like, man, the proof is out there. And they were
Right,
like, well, we had to get past Tom Brady. So what? You get past him then. You know what I'm saying? You're not the only team that had to get past Tom Brady. You get what I'm saying? We
right,
seen it with Joe Flacco. We seen it with Peyton Manning. We seen it with we seen it with Nick Foles, man. You get what I'm saying? Ben Roethlisberger. And although most of those are elite quarterbacks, but at the same time, it was one point in time we were saying Justin Herbert is on his way to being an elite quarterback. I mean, let's be honest, he got elite talent around him. The team is elite. You know, I we probably did Mark Sanchez beat them one year? I'm not for sure. I back I researched that though. But and it ain't and I say, man, it ain't, don't act like the only time y'all lost in the playoffs was against Tom Brady. Y'all had other losses outside of that. You get what I'm saying? Not to mention the loss against Jacksonville. You know, when they had us up, man, at the half or whatnot. So it's like, man, year after year, man, for some reason, man, this team gets in its own way. I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say their best season was when they went to the Super Bowl against San Fran.
yeah.
Around the time they had Natron Means or whatnot. But and they lost to the 49ers. Yeah, and
Got
they got
blowed out
blowed
that Super
out.
Bowl
Yeah,
too.
they weren't even close.
Yeah,
San Fran was hungry.
yeah,
San Fran was overdue. They was hungry.
yeah. They
You know what
were.
I'm saying?
But I mean, when you look at that though, you know, um, the thing about it was this game, the Chargers could have won this game though. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This game was one of those games they could have won, you know, and Drake May didn't start the game off very well. I mean, he was, I mean, like I said, man, this is one of those things that, on the road, you got an opportunity to win the game, you got to close in on it, man. That's why I say, like, in the playoffs, no excuses matter. You get what I'm saying? Like, we don't care if you got a banged up offensive line. We don't care if your running back ain't messed up. Yeah, we don't care about none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's all about delivering in the playoffs, man. And I think you know, I just want to see Justin Herbert take that next step in the playoffs, man. And it just seems like he gets there. Great regular season quarterback, put up great numbers, get in the playoffs, and he fold every year, man. I don't think he made it out of the wild card yet.
Nah, nah, he haven't.
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
because first time he went to the playoff, they lost in the first round. Once shoot, was it New England they lost it? I don't even remember.
It might have
But
been talking about Brandon Staley first year.
right, their first year they made it to the playoff, but they lost in the first round.
Yup.
Yeah,
And then the second year he lost with us. And
right.
then I don't know what they did the third year with Brandon Staley.
I think they
He
made
might
it.
have been already out of there by then though.
Uh,
So, but yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things, man. But you gotta salute the New England Patriots. You know, Mike Brable, what he doing over there, man. Them boys, I mean, they look good, man. I still don't think they're the favorites in the AFC. It's still a lot of holes with that team. They don't wow me, because it seemed like again what we talked about earlier on early on this year, last year rather, they didn't play a lot of good teams, and it seems like every time they play against a team, a good team, they struggle, and I don't like that. I mean, they got they got the winner of this Texans Steelers game, but man, I don't like them playing in this next game. But either for the winner, I mean, because I mean, New England, I think, I mean, I say that for New England, I mean, so like the Texas defense, I think they can do enough to slow down the Patriots.
Yeah.
Steelers, maybe Aaron Rodgers can show up one game on the road. This is a very young team, but Kevin Shayshawn showed out last night. Had 2 sacks.
Oh yeah, he's been coming around, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it take that, time to develop. I mean, unfortunately it wasn't with us, but sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it take going to a new situation. Sometimes a team can hold you back. And not to say that, you know, the Jags was under bad coaching or anything. He had bad coaching at Jags. He was just, but it's just sometimes, man, going into a new situation it may be best for the player. We see it with quarterbacks multiple times. Certain times, certain systems fit players better. Certain times, certain coaching methods fit players better. You know what I'm saying? So and shout out to him, man. Um, I don't remember nothing bad being said about him as a person during his time with Jacksonville. So, anytime you see a person that, man, that had a rough start, man, they go have a new beginning and able to go out and be a contributor on their team. And not only that, man, have a chance to win it all, man. It's always a good story, man.
Yeah, man. I like what the New England Patriots doing. I like what Kayvon, what he was been able to do.
Yeah.
Like I just say, man, but it's gonna be. I don't trust them though. I just do not trust New England right
You don't
now.
trust me?
I don't trust them, dog. And it's one of those things where like they won. Like last night, it was a very ugly game,
Yeah.
but it got it done, dog. And it's just like I don't know, man, if that's gonna be able to get it in the next game, whoever they play, man. I just don't see it, man. But they got the dub.
Yeah.
So we move over to the NFC side, man. A pick that I think David, we was talking about this pick, and I was like the 49ers versus the Eagles. I had picked the 49ers winning that game. I don't know if you picked the 49ers winning that game.
I might have picked Philly. If I probably picked Philly.
So and that
I
was
think
and
so. I don't even remember.
David picked Philly too. So the reason why I say that is because I think a lot of people had Philly winning that game, and due to all the injuries the 49ers had, and they just came up and won. Man, Jalen Hurts did
Crazy.
not look good, dog.
I did pick Philly because because I say contrary to what we have seen in the regular season, we know that
Right.
teams that hit that light switch in the playoff and they done been there before. So yeah, I had to think about the conversation we had. Yeah, I picked Philly.
But you know what though, man? It was one of those things where I look at, that game and Philly, bruh, all the stuff that we talked about last year about the inconsistencies on offense. It came out. Jalen Hurts passing yards and how he kept. I mean, he was a disappearing again in the second half. And it just seemed like a combination of their season all happened yesterday. They had the big highs. They got up real big. They was winning, and then they fell down to reality.
I
And
you
it
know
just
I
inconsistencies, man. I think on offense really hurt this team this year.
I missed part of the game, which I missed most of driving back from the stadium. Then going to see people and everything. Man, got tied up in some stuff and whatnot. Nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? But they when they showed how they showed a lot of passes, man, that Brown was dropping. They were showing, what I'm saying? Now I don't know if it was click, but they were showing as if he was complaining, but he was dropping passes. So and then what I'm seeing with these two, man, it's starting to look like McNabb and T.O. all over again, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy because you looking at they have been to the Super Bowl. They have been to the Super Bowl twice. You know, won one, lost one, and didn't lose it on account of the offense. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even blaming the defense. Just Patrick Mahomes. It's like what I was saying with Josh. Patrick Mahomes, man. He got the ball last, and we know how it is when certain players in that clutch, man. You know, you get drawed up plays that you don't even have time, that you can't even study for. You ain't even got film on these plays because they drawed up at the last minute. You know what I'm
Yup.
saying? Yeah. So it's like, hey man, get open. That's pretty much what it is. Get open. And yeah, man. So it's crazy though, man, because you looking at two players, they have had success with each other. But like, man, but now, I mean, for some reason seem like, and that's pretty much, and this is me looking from the outside in. You know, a lot of times, man, we can look more to what actually is, but the picture that's being painted is that um Brown ain't happy in Philly, that he won't out. You know what I'm saying? That's the picture that's being painted, you know.
I think a little bit of that too is the fact that you know a lot of people may feel like, and I'm not with those people. Just give another perspective that Brown is more about his numbers. He cares more about getting the ball, things like that. He really don't really care about the team and winning first, but he want to be a part of. He want to be involved. But I think with everything that happened on yesterday, man. I mean, he laid the egg, man. And you can't complain for the ball, man, when you're dropping passes like that, man. I mean,
Right.
he dropped key passes, and I mean, and then what happened on the sideline with Sirianni, blow up on the coach. It's like he tried to downplay it, but we know what that was, man. And just I don't know how you move forward with him and Jalen Hurts in the same locker room. Your franchise guy, who you gonna go with? You know what I'm saying? You gonna probably ride for your quarterback. So I mean, it's just it's just everything on yesterday came out showed up on the field, and all the things that we thought about Philadelphia Eagles and most Eagles fans was telling us not to worry about it. We winning games, and it just caught up with them on yesterday. All that they've been winning ugly all year.
Right.
So let's talk about the next game, man. The next game was the Rams and the Cardinals. No, I'm sorry, and the Panthers. That was the next game, and that game right there was shocking, man. That game was a lot closer than what I think a lot of us thought it would be. Um, Panthers tried, they fought, man. And look, at one point, the Panthers was gonna win that game, man. But the Rams, the veteran-led squad, they was just a bit too much for the young pups in Carolina, man. So, but that game was a lot close. What's your thoughts, Greg?
They got a lot to build with, man. They got their cornerstone player, Bryce Young, he's playing. We starting to see the Bryce Young that we saw in Alabama. We starting to see the guy that they drafted with the first overall pick. Um, and I was high on Bryce Young. I was like, man, this dude here, like, man, I was the quarterback I was comparing him to was Drew Brees, when he came out. And I was like, man, this dude can move, but he do not like to break scrimmage. you know, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but he have when he had to, but he don't like to break scrimmage. That's why I compared him to Drew Brees. But at the same time, he get the job done. He got the job done in college. Well, he didn't win a national championship, but they was a good team. He was a good quarterback. But though, like I say, man, they got something to move forward with, man. They got like I say, McMillan, they receiver. Um, they got the other kid that just got there, man. That he's fighting for the number 2 spot over there. I think he number
Xavier Legend,
18. Nah, not Leggett, but I
Jimmy
think he number
Horn.
18. Not Jimmy Horn. Number 18. I can't think his name right now. He actually caught a touchdown pass. So they got some guys over there, man. I think that the main thing is just improving your offensive line. Improve your offensive line. They got their cornerstone player on defense, man. You got what's his name, Derek Brown.
Ed Brown.
You got a dude that's good at stopping the run, one of the best run stoppers in the game. So I think they got a lot, and then like Dave Canales, man, he's been doing a good job with his team, to take this team from looking like they was the worst team in the NFL to looking, being in the playoff and almost won. Almost pulled off the upset.
Yeah, man. I think it'll be smart for Carolina to just hold tight one more year with this group of guys, man. And you forgot Rico Dow, man, at
Rico
the running
Dow, of
back
course,
position, man.
yeah.
They got some like Carolina, man. They got some pieces, man. Can Dave Canales put it together? I think he can. Like I said, man, they was a little bit inspiring. Getting there and give Carolina a game, man. But again, I think we all thought that was a bit close. But concerns for Carolina, though, man. I mean, you let a team that you should have blowed out hang in there, and they hung 30 points on you. So I mean, those are some concerns you have to be for the Rams. I still like the Rams as one of my Super Bowl favorite teams. I think they
Oh
get
yeah,
it
me too.
together. Man, I still think they get together, man. A win is a win in the NFL, man. I don't give a damn how easy it is. I mean, how it look. A win is a goddamn win.
Oh yeah, man. When it all said down, man, I think I got the Rams and Buffalo in the Super Bowl this year.
I got either the Bears or Rams in the Super Bowl from the NFC side, but I think the Bills. After I think Josh Allen played his hardest game in the playoffs was the Jazz right now. I think he can run through the playoffs the rest of the way. Um, I think if he was to see the Texans again in the championship game, I think he'll get it done, man. I think he's seen this defense where he'll be able to will his way and win a game. I gotta go to the defeat and go with Josh Allen as my favorite right now to win the AFC right now. I
Uh,
think he gets in, man. I think this is year.
I mean, they can actually win it all, man. You got to think, man. No Patrick Mahomes, no Josh Allen, no Joe Burrow, man. You have none of the usual suspects to be in your way. You get what I'm
Right,
saying? You do not have to go through the gauntlet. So it's like you looking at the guys that are out here this season and whatnot. Most of them newcomers. Most of them not used to the bright lights.
right,
Some of them they first season. You get what I'm saying? Some of them
right,
just get developing or whatnot.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So he looking at it like, man, this is mine for the taking. So yeah, of course it was kind of rough, and I already knew that was going to be a hard game for us off rip. I was like, man, we get past Buffalo. I think we can just breathe through the rest of the way if we was to get past them. Because Buffalo, in spite of what we saw, regardless of what we saw in the regular season, the tough wins and everything, we know that, man, Buffalo would be a hard team to play. You
Yeah,
have Josh Allen, and they can run the ball, Davin Cook, and we like I say, man, Josh Allen can get it done with no name receivers and I'm not gonna say they're no name receivers because Brandon Cook, we know that, man. When he was in his prime, he was a stud. Um, Gabe Davis, it was a reason why we brought Gabe Davis to Jacksonville, even though he's dealing with an injury. Then you got Kincaid and Knox at the tight end position. You get what I'm saying? I thought we did a good job against them dudes too, man. But like I say, you have those guys out there that can get the job done. They're familiar with the system and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, I say that to say this, man. Buffalo, man, is pretty much my favorite right now, man. I think that, man, this be the season that they get that monkey off their back. You get what I'm saying? You go back to the 4 season straight during the Jim Kelly era. You know, you look at the season when like I say, man, the hard losses against in the NFC Championship against Patrick Mahomes against the
right.
Chiefs, you know. So, like I say, man, I think this team pretty much got their mind made up. Hey man, this is all year. We ain't gonna let nothing stop us.
Yeah, man. I agree, man. I agree with everything you said on that though about Josh Allen, man. Is we missing any more playoff games? I don't want to think of all the playoff. We talked about all of them.
Man, I like Green.
Um,
Uh,
Eagles. We talked about. Oh yeah, the Bears and the Packers game. That's the last one. We talk about that game, man. And that was a weird game as where, man, I thought the Packers had that game won. They was up winning, and Caleb Williams came back, drove them boys back, man. And man, I just think when you look at coach, head coach, quarterback, man, Caleb Williams looked like a night and day difference, man, under Ben Johnson.
Right.
And he looked good, man.
He pretty much did a Trevor Lawrence in his second year, man, to be down in the wild card round and to come back in the second half, man. You know what I'm saying? That shows a lot, man. To be on the big stage and you down and be able to come back. And I think that's why even when Trevor Lawrence was playing bad, the fan base was still optimistic about him because we look like, man, we know what you're able to do. We done seen you be down and bounce back. We done seen you get knocked down and come back up. So, and now we just saw it with Caleb Williams and whatnot. So when you see these moments, man, you like, man, you know what? It's no room for error, it's no room for excuses because we know what you're capable of doing now. You get what I'm saying? So it gives you a lot to when you look at your team, man, it gives you a lot to be optimistic about, man.
I agree, man. So, any final thoughts on the playoff games? We said we into some college football.
No.
So we're gonna say we into some college football, man. National championship game. This I think Friday or Thursday. No, Miami, Indiana, man. Two teams we didn't expect to be here. Two teams that that had a crazy path to get here. An Indiana team that this ain't their first rodeo in the college playoff. They was in the college playoff last year. No, they got knocked down, and everybody thought, oh, that team was just a Cinderella story last year. They came back this year and proved that, hey, man, we ain't no Cinderella. We one of the big dogs in college football now.
Yeah.
In the national title game. You look at Miami, a team that didn't even win their conference. Everybody
Right.
trashed the ACC, and they end up as one of the best teams in the country, Miami, man. So it's a very interesting game, man. A lot of talent on both sides. Heisman Trophy guy, Mendoza. You got them dolls and Bang and Mezzador, or whatever his name is,
Yeah, Mezzador.
on the end. So it's a battle of, these ends and see if Mendoza gonna be able to, quarterback and make all the right decisions, man. So your thoughts, Greg?
It's crazy, man, because Bang and Mezzador, man, what wasn't even a fact of the last game. It's crazy. And you looking at two dudes that we believe that's gonna be going in the first round of the draft. They definitely gonna have to get active though, man. Playing against Mendoza, you know what I'm saying. You playing against him, man. You gonna have to come with it, man, because he's showing everybody, putting everybody on notice that this is why I want the Heisman. You get what I'm saying? And
Right,
a lot of people felt that this season you looking at one of the seasons that we didn't have a lot of a standout candidates. You get what I'm saying? So that's pretty much like kind of like a lot of shade being thrown on his Heisman moment. But he's putting everybody on notice that, hey man, I could have potentially did this in the season where, you know what I'm saying, where we had other qualified candidates. You
right,
get what I'm saying? So to have more touchdowns than you have incomplete passes in a big game is saying something. You get what I'm saying?
really
So
do.
yeah, man. So then like I say, man, it's not like they had an easy path. You know what I'm saying? They only made it look easy, but they didn't have an easy path. You know what I'm saying? They beat Ohio State. They beat they beat um they beat Oregon twice. You know what I'm saying? They playing in the Big Ten, which people would say that's the second best conference outside of the SEC. So going into this game, man, like I say, I think Indiana I think they're the better team. They have shown more, but at the same time, man, you got to factor this right here. Miami, this is a home game for them.
Right.
Miami is playing a home game,
I
and
forget that.
they are fin to bring the crowd out. To play at home, you playing it, and most of these kids are from the area. Miami, a lot of Dade, Broward County, from the state of Florida. You get what I'm saying? So they're going to bring their fan base out, man. That crowd is going to be live in the Hard Rock, man. So and I think that's going to play a factor. You know what I'm saying? I know before I said Indiana, but I think, man, that home field advantage gonna play a huge factor, man. So I think you know what? I'm gonna go in and change around. I like Miami to win it. I like Miami to pull it off.
Ah, man.
Miami going for their sixth title, man.
Hey, hey,
I talked a lot about I talked bad about Miami this year. I talked bad about them.
my
You know
my
what I'm saying?
my X factor. If Miami win, it has to be they're gonna have to play clean in the fourth quarter. If you
Mhm.
look at these playoff games with this Miami team, man, they make bonehead decisions in critical moments, man. Um, and that's what's gonna be key. Getting that holding call with 2 minutes left in the game. Will that happen? The team that makes no mistakes will be the winner. The last couple of games, Carson Beck hasn't thrown an interception, but uh, I think if you can get him to make a mistake, that's gonna be key. And I think the team that who can win that turnover battle is gonna be the team that's gonna win the national championship. Right now, my gut is telling me Indiana because I just look at the way this guy got these guys prepared for the Oregon game and how they just put belt their ass to Oregon. Man, I can see them putting belt their ass to Miami too, man.
I mean, I can see, but man, listen, man. If it wasn't in if this game wasn't in the Hard Rock, right? I would go with
Okay.
Indiana. I would say Indiana gonna win hands down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But due to the fact that man, you got man, I'm talking about they gonna bring the crowd out, bro. I think it's gonna be unfair, bro. Straight up, I think
Yeah,
it's gonna be
I
unfair,
mean,
bro.
it's gonna be.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a dog in the fight. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? But I think it's finna be one of those situations. Man, listen, like I'm looking at it now, and I might be caught in a moment. I may change my pick a few minutes from now. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow or something. As of right now, you got Miami and the Hard Rock, bro. I like Miami, man. And man, that could possibly be a blowout. Straight up. That could, you know what I'm saying? Although you got the Heisman Trophy winner, you know what I'm saying? You got the best player, arguably the best player in college football. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna show up. But at the same time, if that pass rush come, man, listen, it's gonna be like meet me at the quarterback. They're gonna have to play better than what they played in the Ole Miss game. You know what I'm saying? Ruben Bain and Mesidor, they're gonna have to play better than what they played in the Ole Miss game. You know what I'm saying? But now if Indiana line hold up, it's gonna be a long day in the office.
Now we'll say this though too, man. Is when you think about it, is Bain and Mesidor, they were non-factors, but still Miami got the dub. So I don't think they have to dominate, but their presence gonna have to be felt. You get what I'm saying? They don't have to dominate, but they're gonna have their presence felt in this game.
They was non factors, right? But at the same time, right, you know, let's be honest. Um, Trinidad Challenge was off. He didn't have good ball placement. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He's an outstanding talent. You know what I'm saying? You could say he was probably one of the best athletes on the field that night. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
he came through in the clutch. But at the same time, you look at, man, Miami dropped 4 picks. They dropped 4 interceptions. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
he did.
saying?
He
Due to
did.
bad ball placement. You know, but we know that when you look at NFL and college football, athletic quarterbacks get away with being inaccurate because their ability to scramble and extend drives. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to use they legs you know what I'm saying, for short yardage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To extend plays. So they get away with these things. But that don't take away the fact that he was inaccurate. You know, Miami had 4 drop interceptions, man. 4 drop passes that could have been interceptions. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah. So now, and I say that to say this: if he was spot on, it would have been a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? So that was the reason why they didn't have to be a fact. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now Mendoza, opposite. You know what I'm saying? He's accurate. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to be a factor. Their pass rush, they're gonna have to be a factor in order to slow them down.
That's what's up though, man. So we got our predictions in. We'll see what happens on. I think they play the 19th. I think they play on
19.
no
They play
the
on the
19th.
19.
So we'll see what they look like next Monday, man. National championship game, and I'm going with Indiana, going with Miami. So we're gonna see what happens,
Oh,
man.
I'm not going with that one. I just say who I might think might win. I don't care who win. I ain't got a dog in the fight. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
prediction. We just,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Okay, it's all good. We know we don't care about neither one of these teams, man.
yeah,
I can't stand Miami. I know you can't stand Miami just as much
yeah.
as me.
You know what I'm
So,
saying? You know what I'm saying? I like, you know what I'm saying? Indiana come out the winner. You know what I'm saying? I definitely sleep good that night. Now I ain't gonna lose no sleep. You know what I'm saying? You
hey,
know,
Indiana lose, boy. Hey, we already know the Miami fans gonna be hurting, boy. Hey,
I
I'm
ain't
gonna
losing
sleep
no
real
sleep,
good
boy.
knowing y'all ain't got no national championship.
I'm asleep, boy. I'm asleep like a baby. Indiana win, but I think Miami gonna beat them. I think Miami gonna
Well,
beat them.
it's gonna be first time ever a college team hosting the national championship in their backyard. So we're gonna
I
see what
think
it
this
look
the
like.
second. No, no. They'd have been three in their home state because LSU they was in New Orleans, but like and they in their
But they was in
backyard.
New Orleans, but they went at
Yeah,
Baton Rouge.
right.
They literally playing in the same stadium where they play at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
they.
so let's finish up on our final topic for the night, man. We talking NBA trades and trade updates. Um Trey Young, man, moved to the Washington Wizards. They traded him for McCollum, think a first another guy, and I think they got a first round draft pick out of it. Um Trey Young goes to the Wizards. Man, I don't like this move. They say he requested it because he had a no trade clause in his contract, so he wanted to come to DC. I don't know what you do out there, man. Now, I mean, we did see him take, you know, the Hawks to Eastern Conference Finals one year, but they haven't been back there in like the last 4 years or so. So I don't know what you do, make what you make of this trade. I don't know who wins. I do think CJ McCollum coming on to a Hawks team that's been playing pretty good in the Eastern Conference so far this year can come on, maybe be like that veteran guy. Maybe can get them the push they need. I still think you know Trey Young leaving is a big piece to fill. But you got lots of young guys, and I guess they believe in some of these young guys on the roster. And I think they're gonna they go in another direction with the youth movement in this sense. But I don't know what all you do with the guys that you brought in to play with Trey, Kristaps Porzingis, and the other guy you brought in to play with him this year. So I don't know, man. What's your thoughts, Greg?
Man, that'd be the thing about trade, man. If I was a guy and I'm going to a team to win, man, I would be scared to make that move for this reason because you have players that move around so much, and it's like, man, why did I even come over here? You get what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying. You look at because they were saying DiVincenzo had was part of a trade or something like that.
Yeah, they say supposed to been part of that John Morant trade.
Yeah. So it's like, man, and we know that, he wanted to play with he wanted to play with his boys or whatnot. Then I
Right.
go from a team that could potentially win it all to a team that ain't nobody even thinking about like that. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right, right.
that would be not saying that that's what's going on in this situation, but that happens a lot. When you have these trades or whatnot. If I'm a free agent, I'm going to and I sign with a team, then all of a sudden I get traded. We know that the no trades clause, only apply to those that have the leverage to request that. You know, I don't think DiVincenzo had the leverage to request that. Some of these other players or whatnot.
Yeah, man. When you get giving up a guy like that in that magnitude, dog, you gonna have to give something, bro. And I guess DiVincenzo was the only piece that they felt like, hey, man, this might be the guy. But now I haven't read anything on the John Morant trade, and I heard about it when we heard about it when we was in the store together. But I went on ESPN. I haven't seen anything. I think you know they're probably in the lead right now. Minnesota probably in the lead.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that DiVincenzo would probably be first dealt. But you got teams like Miami that's still in play. You got teams like Milwaukee that's still in play. They trying to hold on to Giannis. So if you can bring a guy like Jai in there. I think they let go Damian Lillard, right? They let Lillard go back and re-sign with Portland, right? I believe.
Man. They be moving around so much,
think
man.
he I want to say he went back and re-signed with Portland. If I'm
Uh,
not mistaken. I don't know, man. But
The
I have to look into that, man.
man,
I thought he did.
The NBA is so crazy, right? And it's not to bash the NBA, man. It's pretty much, dog, you better off getting your money, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so hard to win a championship in the NBA, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because you have people that's constantly moving, like moving around. If it don't work out here, I'm going here. You get what I'm saying? And man, it's like, man, and we talking about star players.
right,
We talking about, we seen what happened with, like I say, man, with LeBron when he left Cleveland. We thought we'd never see that. Then we started seeing we saw with Durant. Now, granted, some of these players they have a strong case for why they leaving. You get what I'm saying? The management ain't getting it done. Y'all not putting nothing around me. It's time for me to go. Sometimes they have a strong case, but then you have some cases. It's like they'll be the reason why they didn't win, and then now they want to trade.
right,
So it's man, it's crazy, man. Like you're playing, I'm in it. It's like, man, I'm going after the bread. You get what I'm saying? And I know that might sound crazy, or whatnot, man. It ain't the politically correct thing to say. But let's be honest, man. Let's say you chasing a national title. I'm talking about a national title. You chasing a win or whatnot. You go to this team, y'all put something together. Then the next thing you know, this player getting traded or you out the door, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I agree with you saying, man. It just with the way the NBA is, man, it's just like one of them sports where, man, like teams like in windows close, open and fast. I think in NBA, once you got your dynasty, man, it's kind of hard to break for a dynasty to lose in the NBA. Like Golden
No,
State went on a little run for a bunch of years before they broke. The dynasty just fell apart. So I think when you look at that in regards, when you see that it's clearly not going to work, it's easy just hey man, let's break this thing up now before we get in debt. And you think about too, I think a lot of people look at the Clippers situation and how long they held on to that situation, thinking they was going to ever break through, and then in the end they end up having to blow it up anyway. You know what I'm saying? With the Kawhi, Paul George thing, they blew it up.
right,
So it's like sometimes I think that goes into that with the teams, and when you're saying about players moving around and things like that. So but the NBA is a global sport, and when you're a global sport, you got global money, so you got resources. And that's why you see players on the move like that, man. In my
right.
opinion, but but any final thoughts on the before we wrap up the show today,
No,
man? Let's talk about our rivals and departures, man. I got a rival and departure, man. Um, I want to start with my rivals first. My rival is the lady of the Florida Free Press. You know, I salute that lady because she's in the same space that we in, and is that sports media. And she caught a lot of slack about saying like she should have asked a better question or how she can do this, or like it was good. But I just like the fact that it was a different change up, and she just didn't go in there with the Manila questions like most of the reporters that go in there and they do. And she just want to show some love. And there's
right,
nothing wrong with wanting to show some love in the press conference sometimes. It don't have to always have to be negative. It don't have to always be uh situational football all the time. So I thought, she got the a little a backlash for that she didn't need. And so I just want to show her some love here on this on the podcast, man.
Mm.
The reporter from the Florida Free Press.
You know what? People don't realize that, man. A lot of times, man, you get caught in the moment, especially when you're a real sports fan. You know what I'm saying? You get caught in the moment. So it's like we're not trained robots. And you're free to say or ask any question that you want to ask. You get what I'm saying? See, a lot of people they be so used to these drama-filled questions to get certain response to find a hot topic. But sometimes, man, we have to understand these players are human, man. A lot of times, man, these players, these coaches, they need this type of encouragement. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
Some people here, you got people that may hear they trash all the time. Oh, you need to trade him, get rid of him, or do this, that. People don't want to hear that. You get what I'm saying? And as fans, we do that. You know what I'm
right,
saying? But after a disappointing loss, you know what I'm saying? to hear somebody to come and say, you know what, without to go outside these same questions that get asked, you know what I'm saying, all the time, to come with, like you said, with something positive, whatnot, man, that can make a person day, man. That can make a person day that much better after dealing with a situation like that, man. You know what I'm saying? This is
Big
what people
facts.
have to understand, man. We have to get out what we're accustomed to. You know what I'm saying?
Real
Things don't
talk.
always have to be you know what I'm saying? It don't always have to be the same, man. We can switch it up sometimes. It's okay.
You're right about that though, man. I agree, bro. I agree. Totally agree, man. And so departure. I don't know if you got a rival or not. Rival departure. You got a rival?
Oh, I got a rival. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Shoot, my rival, the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. You know, we lost, man, but shout out to us for a good season, man. We got 13 wins. We got a lot to look forward to next season. It was heartbreaking, but it is what it is. Somebody gonna win, somebody gotta lose or whatnot. Like I say, so I'm going to salute the Jacksonville, even in the loss. That's gonna be my rival. We here, man. You know what I'm saying? We here.
Yeah, you're right, man. And I
Yeah.
think that is it. We are here, dog. And a lot of the mainstream media and the people that was rooting for us to lose, they got what they wanted. Yeah, they got what they wanted for time. But just know that like we're not going nowhere with the coach we have, the front office. I think this is the first time in a long time that the Jacksonville Jaguars is a team that people are going to have to respect for at least the next 2 to 3 years. That window, because that Super Bowl window closed so fast. So at least for right now, we gonna be a team they're gonna be talking about for a little minute for right now.
Right.
You know. So in my departures, man, I have to give my departures to uh, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Philadelphia fan base. I want to talk about y'all for a minute, because you guys have been so cocky, so obnoxious. I mean, just bad, bro. Every time we try to tell you about your quarterback, oh, we winning. Stay off us. We got it. We good over here. I don't know if you know any Philly fans, but the ones that I've encountered,
My
that's what they've
cousin.
been on.
My cousin.
You know, and now you lost. Now y'all looking stupid over there. Because we tried to tell y'all throughout the course of the season, hey man, people that watch football, and I know you, Greg, was probably telling the same thing, man. Y'all can't keep winning like that, dog. Like at some
No,
point, y'all can't keep winning like that.
I actually fit. I didn't count them out of it. You remember I had them beat on the
You did?
49ers. I didn't
Right,
have them to win it, but I say that I can see them going and playing, you know what I'm saying, going to the Super Bowl. I can see that. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Although I was thinking, felt like the Rams was the better team. But
right.
I say I can see that because they're used to playing playoff football with the group of guys they got. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And it just seemed like for me throughout the course of the season, I was just like, you just can't. I mean, yeah, I didn't think it'll be. I mean, I thought that 49ers would take care of business. I was one of the ones few that picked the 49ers, but I didn't see them like, going back to back, making a big push this year because of that particular situation, the instability in the locker room, the fight, infighting, like you said, basically TO 2.0, you know what I'm saying? That situation, just a lot of things that did transpire. And in playoffs, man, you got to be playing at your best. Everybody got to be locked in, focused, and it didn't happen. And that's why I say they my departure, the Eagles, because hey, you know, you guys got a lot of soul searching to do this year, man. What y'all gonna do with the offensive coordinator? Do you let go AJ Brown? Like, y'all got some questions.
Right.
So you got any departure?
Departure for this week. I'm going to go with the Chargers and tell the fan base I told you so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all, like I say, they was, make it about the Jags or the Jags, and we don't like it's not about us. We did, our team did not let the fan base because we didn't have those type of expectations for our team. You get what I'm saying?
Big
Like
facts.
in 2017 we made it above our expectations. Should have went to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the refs got paid pretty good that game though. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, we went to the AFC Championship and was this close to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like our team did not let our fan base down because we did not have these type of you know what I'm saying, aspirations for our team. We didn't have that type of hope for our team. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So, but like I say, now the Chargers, their front office, they good for bringing in talent. Over 20 years they have been one of the most talented teams in the league as far as bringing in talent. The list goes on. But nevertheless, they are never able to get it done. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, you had people they didn't like what I had to say, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got a dog in the fight. I don't hate the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? They're relevant to me. You know what I'm saying? They're not my rival. You know what I'm saying? They're not nobody I hate. I done cheered for them multiple times. They have been my lock pick to win the Super Bowl on numerous occasions and did not get it done. So that's why it stands out to me.
Yeah, man, I agree, bro, man. And hey, it is what it is, man. But that concludes the show tonight, the podcast, man. You know, be on the lookout for more content, man. From me and Greg, bro. We want to thank everybody for rocking out with us. I think we got like maybe 5 or 7 people on the live screen tonight, man. So I want to salute for everybody that came and you know showed us some love on the live screen. So on that note, Greg, this your boy Joe.
This your boy Greg.
I'm out.
Peace.
Peace.